Good morning, everybody. Day 11 today, Monday. I wanted to talk today about motivation. Motivation is really one of the key mental skills that we can develop and really think about and kind of internalize in a way that makes sense to us, both for our riding but also just for life in general, and especially right now for the lockdown period and the stressful time that we are all experiencing. So I've noticed today is quite a lot chillier than the weather we've been having, and it really caused my horses to have some motivation to gallop frantically around the paddock this morning. So I guess, one of the first things about motivation is to look at where is it coming from. So is it an external source or is it an internal source? So we talk about that as being extrinsic or intrinsic motivation. So if you are extrinsically motivated to do something, you are motivated by the reward, like winning, or the trophy, or some external reward and accomplishment that you achieve. You also end up being motivated by a fear of failure. So people who are only externally motivated really struggle with failure. So they struggle if they don't win. And then it's really hard to find passion and pleasure in the things that you're doing if you're not succeeding and not doing well. Whereas if you really think about your motivation as coming from your internal source, your intrinsic motivation, it's much easier to keep doing that in the face of adversity, because that motivation is part of your passion. It's what gets you up in the morning. It's what drives you. And then you will do what you're doing for the sake of what it is that you're doing, not for the sake of some external reward. So how does that translate to us, mostly as horse riders? Well, now we don't have any shows right now. So it might be difficult for some of us to be motivated to do the things that we need to do to stay fit, to keep well, to exercise the horses if we're able to do that. If we are only externally motivated by the thought of doing well at the shows. So part of what I like to do around the motivation is to just check in with myself every now and again what my motivation is for riding. So there can be an element of this being quite a fun exercise that you can do, where you can really sort of brainstorm a little bit around what it is that you can do right now, even if you're stuck in quite a small apartment and you definitely can't ride. You can still keep your motivation going. There's quite a lot of things that you can do to remind yourself what you love about riding. What are the things that really make you feel joyful about your horses and about your riding? What type of rider are you aspiring to be? So are you a real firm and encouraging and positive rider? Are you a softer and gentler rider? What are you living into? What do you want to be as a rider when we start riding again and things hopefully start going back to normal? So I think it's quite important to really spend a little bit of time just checking in with yourself, how motivated you feel about your passions, about the things that drive you, and the where do you want to go, and how can you use this time to get clearer about who you are in the world and what you're aspiring to be, in terms of your riding, but also in terms of your life in general. Perhaps you want to look at your career. Perhaps you want to look at your family. Anything that you have a passion for, that drives you, is something that you can really start to get clear about your intrinsic motivation, especially right now where we don't have a lot of external sources of reward with regard to the things that we want to do. I hope you enjoy that little exercise and spend a little bit of time thinking about what really motivates you and how you can really aspire to live into that even during this time. Have a good day. Bye-bye.